What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Faith. I'm an astrologer who specializes in astrocartography as well as money readings. Welcome to my channel. So today we are talking all about the full moon in Leo sitting at 13 degrees. This full moon is coming in hot. It's illuminating a lot of things, and it's bringing another aspect of fire into the mix or into the sky. And I'm honestly here for it as a Leo rising. So let's get into it. So Leo is all about the heart. It's all about opening up, being open, kind of being vulnerable and kind of living from your truth in a courageous way. This is Leo in its higher octave. It's dropping the performative act. It's dropping the attention seeking, all eyes on me act, and more so just living so boldly and so in your truth that you attract the right eyes on you. So with this full moon, we obviously want to look at where is Leo in our charts, because that area of life will be highlighted during this time. Now, the first thing that really stood out to me and that was quite obvious was the fact that this full moon is directly opposing a lot of planets in Aquarius. So we obviously have Pluto in Aquarius. We have Mars currently in Aquarius. We have the Sun in Aquarius, Venus in Aquarius, and Mercury. A lot of energy in Aquarius right now. And this is really creating a push and pull of, are we speaking from our heart? Are we speaking from our truth? Are we operating from a place that really benefits us, but we are just letting the world crash and burn behind us? Or are we coming together as a collective and really working together? Is it CYA? Is it like cover your own, what? Or is it more so you are contributing to a collective in a way that you actually feel good about and you can actually stand for? These are the themes and questions that will come up during this time. On a global scale, there is now more than ever, there is this scrutiny where people are realizing like, whoa, what are we doing here? The powers that be, they aren't actually making decisions that benefit us as the people, us as the population. All of these global atrocities and events that are happening around the world, more and more people are saying, hey, I don't like this. And now more than ever, under this Leo full moon, it's okay, are you going to put your money where your mouth is? More on that in a second. So on a global scale, it's redefining or really putting under a microscope the ideals. Are the values and ideals really lining up here? And just are the powers that be, this Pluto in Aquarius, like, does this need to be broken down and rebuilt? Now, on an individual or personal level, this could look like, are you just playing your role and just trying to get by, right? Are you being the generic NPC and you see the world crashing around you? You see where parts of your neighborhood or community are being mistreated and you're not saying anything. You're like, oh, if it's not too close to home, I'm not going to worry about it. I see a lot of that mentality, but that's not going to fly under this energy. We can no longer turn a blind eye to the things that are going on in the world, especially with so much concentration in Aquarius directly opposing Leo during this time. So the real question would be, in this Leo energy on a personal level as well, it's like, okay, are you doing things that actually light you up? Or in what ways have you just been operating on robot mode and, your inner child is starving? How much screen time or lead time does your inner child actually get? Like, if you're the main character of your life, that version of you, how much screen time is that version of you getting? Okay, kind of thinking like theater mode here with this Leo energy. So the next juicy thing that I kind of hinted at earlier would be Uranus in Taurus. Now, Uranus is currently retrograde in Taurus, but it will go direct on February 3rd. And that is a couple of days after this full moon. So the energy of Taurus, it rules comfort, luxury, food, the throat. So with Uranus being retrograde, anytime a planet is retrograde, we're revisiting something. We're taking a pause and we're reassessing. So as Uranus is retrograding for this one last time, just sliding back into Taurus, it's reminding us, hey, like I said before, are you actually putting your money where your mouth is? Do you actually see your values being aligned out in the world? Or are you aligning yourself with your values? Or do you need to reevaluate what you believe in, what you value? Like, are you kind of playing your role for the sake of your own comfort as you watch a world unfold around you that you truly don't believe in or that you don't even have hope for? Are you actually trying to be the change, or are you saying that and then you're going back into your penthouse, your millions, your billions, your luxury, and not worrying about it? That is what Uranus is calling us to ask under this full moon. And this is very important because a lot of times, I mean, it is general human nature is self-preservation, right? So it is in human nature as far as on a selfish level, but when it comes to the collective, Uranus is asking us, hey, how can we show up differently? How can we realign with these Taurus themes? Taurus's energy is very slow, but it is stable. So there is this consistent buildup within the collective where we are saying this is not okay. But instead of just saying it, Uranus is begging us to ask the question, okay, when are we actually going to implement these changes? When does the big plot twist happen, basically, with Uranus? And Uranus encourages us to be the black sheep. It encourages us to go against the grain. This is an NPC energy with Uranus, for sure. And it's important to just kind of realign and reflect on these things, because once Uranus begins to go direct and move forward, per se, when it goes back into Gemini, as we already discussed on this channel, there's going to be an influx of information. There's going to be everyone kind of giving their opinion and all of these things happening where it's like, if you aren't already rooted and grounded and you know what you stand for and you know what you're willing to, put your money where your mouth is or back your words up, walk the talk, basically, then you're just going to get lost in the sauce. You're going to get lost in the sauce because with Uranus and Gemini the reality, or the two faces of reality. Remember, Gemini is very multifaceted. So the two faces of reality will begin to show. It's what is being presented to us versus what the world actually is like, or what the real world information or the real world implications, if that makes any sense. So Uranus is challenging us to, hey, let's realign. Hey, speak up. Speak up. Speak up. Don't lay low. Speak up. Taurus ruling the throat there. So keep all of those things in mind under this full moon energy. Now, I would encourage you to look at in what area of your chart, where is Uranus, and that will be the house that Taurus rules. And then also look at the house that Gemini rules. Okay, moving on. Now, let's talk about what everyone has been talking about. I'm sure you've already heard. Neptune is in Aries. So Neptune just moved into Aries. It's at 0 degrees. We are here. Pretty soon, later on in the month, Saturn will be right behind it. Now, I've seen several different interpretations and implications, and it is on my to-do list to make a blog post about this and maybe even a YouTube video about this. But Neptune in Aries, the energy is going to be very, very different than Neptune in Pisces. Now, let me back up a little bit. Whenever we talk about these larger, slower moving planets, we're talking about generational planets. So Uranus, Saturn, Pluto, Neptune, these are more generational planets versus the smaller planets from Jupiter on down, they are more personal planets. So when we talk about, really Jupiter is a generational planet too, but when we talk about Neptune, this is on a generational level, right? So this is more so the collective. It's not just you personally, but it does affect us on a personal scale also. So Neptune in Pisces was very ethereal, very dreamy, very aesthetic, and is like merging with something outside of yourself, merging with something higher than yourself. These ideals of a savior coming to save you. Versus Neptune in Aries is nobody's coming to save you. No, you're going to have to get up and save yourself. And this is definitely different energy. It's definitely more energy of a pioneer. It's more energy of, you start that spark and you become self-starting. And that's when the change or the shift is going to happen. More people taking more responsibility for themselves and more accountability for themselves, especially on a spiritual level, since Neptune does rule spirituality. To me, it just seemed like the veil has been thinning, and now with Neptune and Aries, the veil is gone, or so we think. So with Neptune and Pisces, Neptune does rule drugs, film. So, all of these scandals with the Hollywood industry, example will be P. Diddy and that whole case, all of these things coming to the light and just the idea of fame itself shifting away from us putting celebrities on a pedestal and more so understanding that we are all just human beings. We all bleed red, right? So these ideals are shifting towards more boldness instead of just these perfect little fanatical aesthetics. However, this reminds me of a Threads post that I saw, and I've been saying it a lot this week, but it's ringing so true in my head. I saw a Threads post that said, Neptune is the villain that you guys think Pluto is. I don't remember the creator, but it's not my words, okay? But it's true. Like, Pluto is very direct. You could see the breaking down and the building up. Neptune kind of does the same thing, but it's like you just get washed away and you're in the middle of it, or you're at the end of it and you're like, what the heck is going on? So when I said the veil is lifted, so it seems. Neptune still rules dreams. It still rules illusion. It still rules this fantasy energy. So personally, I think Neptune and Aries is also just, there will still be some type of disillusionment, but it'll just have a different name, or it'll just have a different look to it, a different filter, a different vibe, with it being in Aries. I am kind of pondering, I'm not going to say I predict, but I am kind of pondering if this will show up in a way where everybody seems very self-righteous or seems just like wise in their own opinion, or it's just they think that their way is the right way, when this energy is the spark, is creating new ideas. Aries is the first, right? Is new, but that doesn't mean that your way is the only way. And Aries is one of the children of the zodiac. So sometimes, like, think about a kid when you're trying to teach them something. As their brain develops and as their cognitive abilities grow, they start to think, nah, I'm smarter than you. So I'm wondering if that will be the new illusion with Neptune in Aries. But going back to the energy of the full moon, this is adding more fire to the collective. This is shifting. It is still this bold energy of like, no, I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna save myself. Like, I can't wait on the government. I can't wait on the powers that be. I can't wait on anyone else. What can I do today to make a difference? And that's the only thing that I can guarantee. And under this energy of boldness and courage and leadership, we are going to start to see more of that action. We already are seeing protests and different things like that. And while there have been some very unfortunate events, especially within the US with these different protests, I still think it is a part of this energy. And regardless, I can't even, despite my pondering and thoughts on Neptune and Aries, I cannot deny that this energy is still the same energy that was once around for the American Civil War, which I'm sure you've already seen that flooded down your timeline, and we can talk more about that later. So I want you guys to really think about, obviously, where is Aries in your chart? How is this energy showing up for you? Some people I've already seen, they're starting to feel the shift as Neptune moved away from Pisces into Aries, especially if Neptune maybe is in one of your angular houses, like your 1st, 7th, 4th, 10th. maybe you're feeling this a little bit stronger than others. So take note of that. Let me know in the comments how you're feeling under this new energy. And yeah, we got more on the way coming into Aries with the Saturn later on in February. All right, before we go, I do want to give you guys some quick updates. So if you haven't heard, first of all, it's probably because you're not on my newsletter. So make sure you subscribe to my email list so you can get the latest and the greatest, and that'll probably be before I can even hop here on YouTube and give it to you. So I have created a maps feature on my website, yes ma'am, where you can actually pull your astrocartography map straight from my site under the maps section. And get this, you can also save it as a web app on your desktop or your mobile device. So the directions for how to do this is actually under the user manual. It's on the same screen as the actual map. But the map includes, obviously, you just put in your information and your map comes up. I also have a ruler feature on there for you to measure the distance from your different astrocartography lines, because there is a radius that you need to stay in. I've seen astrologers use anywhere from 400 to 700 miles. Personally, I use a radius of 600 miles. So keep that in mind and then convert. I have miles/kilometers for those of my subscribers that are in Europe. I got you. So take a look at that. I also have toggles where if you're looking for certain types of lines based on the angles, for example, like IC lines, MC lines, ascendant, descendant. I also have toggles to kind of help you narrow down what exactly you're looking for. So go to my website, play around with that. Let me know in the comments what that is doing for you, how you're feeling about it. Do you like it? I've gotten a lot of feedback of people wanting me to add params, etc., etc. More things coming for sure, and then I'll make a video when I do that update to the site. But play around with it. Let me know what you think. And yeah, I hope you like it. And the second latest and greatest update would be the fact that I have just launched my intro to astrocartography course, the foundations of Astro Mapping, where if you've been wanting to figure out how to read your own map, maybe you've gotten a reading from me, you've joined one of my workshops, and you just want to go a little bit deeper and know how to do this for yourself, then please make sure you check out the foundations to Astro Mapping. It is on my website under shop, because this one is a live cohort. I have not made the course yet. I wanted to do it together. So this is a live cohort for spring of 2026. You can check all the details, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you there. All right, guys, so that is a wrap for this video. Let me know how you're feeling under this full moon energy. Do you already feel it, or what themes may be coming up for you right now? And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.